Hello everyone, and welcome to the first video tutorial for Stremio add-on developers. Today we're just going to make a simple add-on that adds video games to Stremio. We're going to use igdb.com for this. This is a website that has video game related information and also has trailers and gameplays. And this is what we want to add, trailers and the gameplays to Stremio. To do that, we're going to make a Node project for this. We're going to make a new folder for it. Alright, we're going to make a package.json for it. Define our project. Alright, give the version. Description. Okay, set the main script file and also set the start script for npm. Okay, now all we need is the dependencies, which in our case will be Stremio add-on SDK. Alright, and igdb API not. This will be the client that we'll be using for the igdb API. Okay, now let's save our main script. Let's add our dependencies. Let's require dependencies. Okay. For the igdb client, we also need an API key. I already have one set as a process environment variable. You can get one, it's free with limited requests. You just need to make an account on their website. Okay, now let's require the add-on SDK. Okay, and the first thing that you need to do in an add-on is define the add-on manifest. This tells Stremio how to handle your add-on, what to expect from it, what to request from it. You need to set an ID for it. It should be unique between all add-ons. Okay, this is just whatever string that you can think of. Give it a human readable name for the add-on. Give the version. Give the description. Okay, firstly, let's understand what resources are here. Okay, let's go to Stremio. I'm using Stremio in the browser now. It's the same as the desktop app, just with less streaming features. So this is the Twitch add-on. This is the catalog for it. This catalog is also available in Discover tab. It's also available when you search. So firstly, we're going to need that. We're going to need the catalog for add-on. It's not mandatory, but when we're going to use it today. Now, secondly, when you go on a stream, you're going to see this page. This is the detail page. This page has detailed information about this item. It has a background, it has a logo, and these are the streams. Now, in our case, we're just going to use the meta. For this page, and we're not going to set a stream resource because we're going to set the streams inside the meta object. If you would have wanted to handle this separately, you could have made a stream resource to set a stream resource to, but we don't need that because we get all the information at once from IGDB. So we're just going to set that there. We're going to give the streams in the meta too. Now, alternatively, you could have also set, as I said, the streams, and you could also set subtitles, for example. We don't need those for this particular add-on. So just catalog and meta. And now, let's see here. Let's state the types of this add-on. For us, it's just going to be channel. This tells Stremio how to handle this particular page. I prefer channel for this add-on. You can also set TV here, or movie, or series, and they have different behaviors for the detail page. All right, let's define our catalogs. We can have multiple catalogs. We only need one here. So it's going to be also of the type channel, like the types we set our add-on to be. It needs an ID. This needs to be a unique string between the catalogs of your add-on. I'm just going to set IGDB catalog here. Okay, it needs a human readable name. I'm just going to set games. And we also want to say that we support searching here. So let's do extra supported search. All right. The last thing that we need here is ID prefixes. And what this means is that we need to state how the IDs of our meta objects start. So in this scenario, I'm just going to set IGDB like that. All right, we have our manifest. All right. Now, the first thing that we should do when it comes to new add-ons is create a function, we'll call it to meta, that gets the IGDB meta objects. In this case, I have an object here to get them easier, and converts them to Stremio accepted meta objects. So this is pretty much the most important thing that needs to be done in such scenarios. So let's just do that really fast. Okay, it has screenshots and artworks. Let's use that to get a background. Alright, otherwise if it doesn't have screenshots, let's use artworks. Alright, so this will be our background. Now the next thing we're going to see is that it doesn't have the HTTPS prefix. Let's just add that. I'm not entirely sure it's needed, but let's just add that to be sure. Stremio works on so many platforms, it's just good to be sure in these cases. Alright, so in this case, we're just going to add HTTPS to that. Alright, Now the second thing that we're going to notice at these images is that they're thumbnails. I've already checked the documentation, so I know that I can get bigger images for backgrounds from LegDB API by just replacing this in the links with the original image. That's what we need for background, a big image. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, we have genres. We can use that. But the issue here is that we need strings here, and we don't have strings, we have objects, so we're just going to map those. Alright, that should be enough for the genres. Now let's see what else do we have here. We have a cover, okay, this is the poster. We need a poster too, so let's just okay. All right. And also here we still get a thumbnail, so we need it a little bigger, not an original image, but a little bigger, so I know that I can get that too by just replacing that with this. Okay, let's also add the HTTPS prefix here for safety. Alright, so now we have a poster too. So we have background, genre, poster. What else is important here? Platforms, this is very important to have, so let's get those two. Okay, so just like with the genres, we're getting objects here, and we just need the names, but more so I'm gonna need this as a string because Stremio doesn't have a meta type for games, so it doesn't have a place to show platforms and in the page. So we're just gonna use the description field to set the platforms, because it's more important than the actual description in this case. So let's just map those. Right, and join them. Okay, so now we have platforms. Okay, we have a first release date. We can use this to get the year of the release. So let's do that. Okay, and just do this. Okay. This was wrong. Okay. Okay. I think that should get us there here. What else? Oh, the videos. That's exactly what we were here to do. We need the videos, streams to them. So what we see here is that the videos have YouTube IDs, which is great because Stremio natively supports YouTube. So let's just see how that works. I'm also going to map these. In turn, something that Stremio understands. Now for YouTube, normally if I would have had the stream URL, I would have just set URL, stream URL, right? Otherwise, if it was an external link, I could have said external URL, my external URL. In this case, if it's a YouTube video, we just need to set its particular ID here. So in this case, we'll prefix it with this. And normally, this would have needed a YouTube channel ID here, and then the actual YouTube video ID, right? But the channel ID is not necessarily required, so we're just going to skip that. We don't have that, so we're just going to set the YouTube video ID here that we have. In this case, it's this. We're also going to do title. I'm sure we have one here. Yeah, under name. Okay, and let's also add a thumbnail. They don't give us thumbnail, but this is a YouTube video. It's easy to get a thumbnail for it. If you just know the right URL for it, and it's also based on the video ID here. Right, so this should get us the thumbnail for our videos too. And that's about all the information that we need for our meta object. So let's just create it. So the meta ID needs to start with what we set here, which is with IGDB. So we're going to put that here, right? And then we're going to add the actual ID of it from IGDB. So this. Alright, now we're going to set the name, which in our case I think it's actually name here. Yeah, okay. The type of it, which is channel, because we set the support on the channel. The catalog is channel. Meta objects also need to be channel, although you can make a difference between the type of the meta compared to the type of the catalog. So the catalog appears in a different place, like other or something, or movie or series, but the meta, the description page looks like a channels one. So that's also possible, but in our case it's still going to be channel. So we have a poster, otherwise we know this out, we have a description, and here we said that we want to use platforms if we have them. I don't see a scenario where we don't, but I don't know how the database works, so we're going to use the platforms. Otherwise we're going to use the summary, which is the description of the game. Otherwise we're just not going to use anything. Okay, we have a year, so we're just going to use that too, right? We have a background, so we're going to use that. Okay, we have genre, so let's use those. And we obviously have videos, so let's use those. Okay, so this this is our toMeta function. This converts IGDB meta to Stremio meta. And this is the most important part of meta. Now, we said that we have two types of resources. We have catalog and meta. For each of these resources, we need to create a handler. So let's start with the catalog one. The catalog needs to support the main feed, which is this. And also we said that it supports search. So let's do that. Define catalog handler. Every handler passes arguments and a callback. So let's do searching first. In order to know if the request is for searching, we're going to check if arguments extra exists and if those extra arguments include search. And this will be the search query that we're going to use. Okay. So I'm just going to use the IGDB client, which we already initiated, and request games. For this catalog, we only need two fields. We only need the name and cover from the API. Everything else is just needed for the meta, actually. Now, we're going to set a limit of 30. We're going to order this by popularity. We're going to add our search query here. This is all we need to get search results. Okay, so let's do this now, and also catch an error if it happens. If we get an error, we're going to pass it back to Stremio, so it knows about it. Now, with our response, we're going to make sure that the response is valid. In our case, all the responses from IGDB are arrays. So we're going to make sure that it's an array and it has elements. If it doesn't, we're not going to send an array here. We're just going to ignore the error because being a search, it might just yield no results. And that's the most common case if people are searching for movies and series and you're serving games. Otherwise, if the result is valid, we're just gonna respond correctly to this. And here, all we need to do is actually map that response to our toMeta function. And that's all we need to do because this will convert everything from the response to Stremio support meta. Okay, so otherwise, if it's not a search, this is only for the search. If it's not a search, then it's a catalog request, the main feed. So we're going to make sure that the request is of type channel because we said that we only support channel in this catalog. And we're going to make sure that the ID of the channel is correct. Chances of this being incorrect are minimal, but just in case, I need to handle that as an error too. So otherwise, we're just going to say throw an error there to Stremio and say that it did an invalid catalog request. Alright. So here in the main feed, I'm thinking that we don't want games that haven't been released yet. So in order to set that as a filter, we're gonna have to get today's date. Okay, but we need them in a particular format for IGDB, so let's create that format for it. Alright. And this will give us something like this, which is what IGDB wants from us. Okay, so other than that, we're going to need the previous year because I don't want items to be too old, so I just want the items from right now to the January, let's say, of the previous year. So let's just get a previous year. This isn't hard to do either. We just do get full year here, and we subtract 1, which will give us like 2017. Okay, so with this we can filter correctly to get a particular type of games. So let's use the client again, say the requesting games. Okay, and say that we want the same fields as before. We only need name and cover from IGDB for our catalogs. Alright. We're also going to limit this to 30, and we're also going to order by popularity again. Alright, and now we're going to set the filters. So what we're telling it here is that we don't want things that are older than previous year from the 1st of January. Okay, and we don't want things that are too new, actually not released yet. So just do that. Okay, so that's about it. After that, we handle it exactly the same like the searching part. The difference here is that we will handle this error if we don't get any results, because we should get some results here. So we're going to create an error for this. I'm going to say received invalid catalog data. Alright. Okay, so this should be the catalog. It should work if everything was written correctly. Now the next thing we need to do is create a handler for meta. So let's do that. This also gets arguments in the callback. All the handlers get just that. Let's also check the arguments to make sure they make sense. So we only support channel, so it needs to be by the channel type. We set that our prefix is HTTP, right? So we're gonna make sure that it's requesting something correctly from us. Alright, otherwise we're just gonna give it an error saying invalid meta request. Okay, and in this case we need to request the ID that it's requesting from us. So we're going to use like client again, and we want games again. We need a lot more fields than before for the meta. We don't just need name and cover. We're going to need name, we're going to need cover, we're going to need the first release date to get the year. We're going to need the screenshots for the background. We're going to need the artworks also for the background. We're going to need the videos, because that's why we're making the add-on. We're going to need the genre. Okay, and what else was there? Platforms for the description and summary for the description. So these are our fields. This is basically what we need for the complete conversion of the to meta. Okay, so now we're going to request the ID that is requested from us by Stremio. To do that, we just use the ID that it's requesting and replace our prefix with nothing, so it's understandable by IGDB. Alright, another thing that we do here is that because of how IGDB works, for me to get this object here, I needed to expand genre and platforms, because otherwise it would just give me their IDs. But expanding them gives me the names and the slugs too and whatnot. So we need the names here, so we need to expand them. So I'm going to expand genres and also expand platforms. Okay, this should be the correct request, if everything goes right. Now let's just handle this request. So okay, catch the error there. We do have an error. we just send it back to Stremio. If we don't have an error, then we make sure that the response makes sense. Again, all responses from HTTP are arrays, even if we request only one thing, so it's going to be just the first element of that array. Okay. Otherwise, we're just going to give it an error and say receive invalid meta. Okay. And if the response is correct, we're just going to do this and use to meta on the first of this array. Okay, so that's our meta handler. It gets objects from HTTP, converts them to Stremio supported, sends it back if it makes sense. Okay, last thing that we need to do is actually run our add-on. Let's say that way. Alright, now let's enter add-on, let's do npm install. Okay, there's the npm start, and we have an error. Right, okay, this is okay. What does that break? Right. Comma. Okay, it started. Let's just hope this works also. Okay, so we have the name of our add-on here. As you can see, it's IGDB add-on, version 001. The description, game trailer, gameplay videos from IGDB. We install it. Alright, refresh this page now. And we go to the bottom and it broke. Okay, let's see why. Sure. Makes sense. Okay, undo that. Let's try this again. Refresh the page again. And these are our games. Okay, let's just go to a random game here. Let's say this one. We have a background, we have genre, we have platforms, and we have the videos. The videos were great. Alright, let's just search for a game. Let's take Monster Hunter. Make sure the searching works correctly. And it does. Here's Monster Hunter. It also has videos here. Genre, platforms. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. You will also find a link to this project in the description of this video. Let's hope I'll make another video soon.